Okay, so I think we've got our points lined up. Okay, for those of you listening, my name is Jason. I'm one of the writing consultants at the Mary Francine Danis, PhD University Writing Center, also known as the Writing Center, here at Lady Lake University, excuse me. It's a Monday morning. So we're just going to kind of briefly introduce you to some of the services we have here, as well as to just introduction and just to the Writing Center itself, introduction to the Writing Center and the services, and also just kind of touch upon some of the different things that we have going on right now. So first of all, I'll introduce another one of our writing consultants, Sabrina. Sabrina, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
We had the intention of putting this up sooner, but some technical difficulties kind of arose. So now that some weeks have gone by into the new semester, I'm sure most of you are aware of our presence on campus, but if you are not, I welcome all you new freshmen, as well as returning students, faculty who may possibly utilize the Writing Center. One thing we want to talk about is just the basic introduction to the Writing Center. So Sabrina, do you want to just kind of give a brief breakdown of what is involved here in the Writing Center, what we do for students and faculty?
Sure. Basically, you can come into the Writing Center for, it's going to sound so general, anything involving writing. That means from the first step of simply the assignment instructions, you want to talk about those, you can come in here, all the way to the finished product. You've written out your 4, 5, 20-page paper, and you want to kind of come in and get a second opinion on it, get some ideas on, is it following the right order, things like that. You can come in here. Make up an appointment with us. Basically, any step in the writing process, we can help you with if you're having some trouble. Also, not just assignments. We get a lot of scholarship applications, scholarship thank you letters, anything that has to do with some piece of writing.
A lot of professional development as well. We have students and faculty members bring resumes. Exactly. And the point of what we do here is to help develop writers. It isn't going to be a cleanup session or kind of like, hey, can I drop off my paper and come back in an hour and it's ready for me, perfect. It's nothing along those lines. It's development of writing skills, and we implement various types of strategies and resources to help develop the writer for that purpose, to meet that specific aim, developing as a writer. We will point out initially, maybe you might want to consider one of your first visits to be maybe a diagnostic, meaning we kind of help you identify some of the issues that you have and point them out to you so that we'll inform you of your style, of your voice, and if there's anything that needs to be improved upon, as well as maybe any repeating errors such as punctuation, grammar, anything along those lines that actually will distort or impede your voice as a writer and your overall clarity that you want to present to your professor, who's your ultimate audience at this point. So we definitely want to focus on those things and really help you guys become better editors and better revisionists, if you will, for your own writing itself. And so that culminates into becoming a better writer. So the more you are invested in creating a better writer out of yourself, out of your current academic situation perhaps, then definitely that's what we're here for, is to help you develop.
I like the term you used, revisionist, because I think the two phrases, proofreading and editing, I think are forbidden here. We don't proofread, we don't edit. However, what we are going to do is we're going to help you, like you said, become a better revisionist, in the sense we're going to help you to look for things in your paper that need to be worked on.
Right.
So when you're filling out those appointment windows and putting, basically what you want to come in for, shy away from the editing and the proofreading. But you know what?
It's a
discussion.
Shorthand. Yeah.
Discussion. We like the term discussion. We're going to discuss your paper with you.
And that's basically what it is. It's a collaboration, a discussion. It is. There are going to be times where we don't get to the whole paper because that's not the point. The point is not to get to the whole paper, to start from finish. It's what you pick up along the way. It's
identifying a pattern. If perhaps there's a pattern to some basic errors that
occur.
A particular student makes, anything like that.
In a way, it's kind of along that kind of cliche of it's the journey that counts. And in this case, for writing, it is. One session is not going to cure all. You're not going to walk out of here saying, oh, from now on, all my papers are going to be perfect. Well, that's not the goal. Perfection is not the goal at this point. The goal is to understand who you are as a writer and develop those abilities as a writer. So, and as we record, we are in the middle of our own writing center, so please excuse any background noises that may emerge. One thing we also want to make it a point to discuss in this initial podcast, which we will so affectionately term Popcast, because they're going to be relatively short at the beginning, just kind of come at you like a pop quiz perhaps. We want to talk about our social media presence. And right now, the biggest push that we have is going to be on a new online scheduling tool that we're using called MyWC Online. Now, a lot of students have already found this and utilized it. We have some great videos that were created by a former colleague of ours on our YouTube page. And the YouTube page is actually MFD Writing Center.
Look for our channel.
Exactly. Look for the channel. Subscribe if you'd like. But those videos are embedded in our WordPress blog. We have some kind of walkthroughs through that whole process, and we can be found at MFD Writing Center, all one string, all one word, mfdwritingcenter.wordpress.com. We can also be found on Facebook. It's facebook.com/OLLU WC. We are also on Twitter at @MFD_writing. So you can find us on those. We also have a Goodreads page, and right now we're looking at some ways that we can improve that page, but we have a few initial entries in there, some book reviews that we have by some...
Beginning of the semester, we haven't gotten a lot of reading done.
Exactly. Even though we're not students, we still have a lot that's going on here in the Writing Center in our personal lives. But going back to the MyWC Online, the URL that you can access us at, and we also have links everywhere on our other social medias, outlets, but you can find MyWC Online. It's https://OLLUSA.mywconline.com. And MyWC Online is just one phrase. You're not going to put any underscores or spaces or anything like that. It's just alusa.mywconline.com. And there are some videos, like I said, on not only the YouTube page, but embedded in our WordPress blog.
There's actually a category page for WC Online.
Right, and it takes you.
Anything that we did a breakdown of the sign-up process for WC Online, such things like that. You can find all those at the WordPress. There's a separate page for it. You can click on it, and it'll take you to all of those, the embedded videos, everything.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And just aside from that house cleaning, as I say, that business that's been taken care of, just to let you know, again, that we are out there. We've had a profile written about us for, was it Lake Weekly?
We did Lake Weekly.
Which I think is done well, because a lot of students are now aware. Mm-hmm. We actually put up our processes to set up an account through.
We should probably we'll be sending out another one.
Yeah, we'll
just a reminder.
Just in general, just look for us to be a little bit more vocal, as it were, online and in social media presence. So, but really, we wanted this just to be a welcome message. I guess one other big thing for the Writing Center is, since the retirement of the titular Writing Center, Dr. Mary Francine Danis, PhD, she did step down from her position last spring, and we do now have a new Writing Center director, Dr. Kirsten Komara. Yay. And I had a chance to sit down with her and just have her give an introductory message that I will tag to either the beginning or the end of this episode, wherever it fits in the workflow of this episode. But you'll have a chance just to have a message from her. And we are going to, when time allows, want to sit down with various staff members of various resource services, such as the Student Success Center, who we share space with down here at the Moy basement. And there's also other people such as the TRIO program. And we may have some individuals from that program as well, just to kind of give you guys a breakdown as to what's available to you as students, student services, if you will. That's exactly what they are. We want you to be able to utilize the Student Success Services because they're here for you. You are the students. These services are here to help you succeed. So, our purpose as writing consultants, as we explained earlier, is really just to kind of guide you through this process, because it's not always easy, and we have a lot of students who are outside of our normal campus, whether they're inside of Texas but in other cities, or we have some that are actually outside of Texas. And we want to make ourselves available, which is why we have our online presence as far as the registration, because it's not always easy to find time to email or call in like our old processes, dictated.
You know what? If we have time, do we have time? You're keeping time. Do we have time to discuss something real quick?
Sure.
Just to let you know, when you go on to the MyWC Online, one, that is where our schedule is. So you're going to have complete access to our schedule to make your appointments whenever you want, based on our availability. So you want to always check that to see what hours we'll have available. Second, we have 3 types of sessions, and we can cover this really quick.
Sure.
The first one is a face-to-face session where you come into the center, bring your paper. Ideally, if you can bring a printed draft, we would appreciate that. Second type is online tutoring. Basically, online is through the appointment window. You will see a red URL link that says start or join online conversation. Basically, that's where the entire session is held. It's through an online chat room. There is a document uploader where if you have maybe a specific part of your paper, a couple of paragraphs you want to work on, we can upload it on there and we can both see it. Anything changes we make to it, any highlights, and that will come out on your screen, come out on ours.
Right.
Third type is e-tutoring, which is now known, it's actually the name of our phone consultations.
Okay, so we're back. We just had it's because we're recording in the writing center. We're recording in the writing center, so, duty calls. So, Sabrina, you were talking about the distinctions between...
Speaking of phone calls, yes.
E-tutoring.
The e-tutoring, when you go on there, you'll see an appointment type, and it's called e-tutoring. That is actually the term we're using now for phone consultations. For those who have utilized our services in the past, we have something called a phone consultation, where if you cannot, for some reason, be in the center, maybe you're on the road. I've talked to people in cars.
I've talked to people on the road as well.
You're traveling, but you still need to get that paper in. You have a deadline. What we can do is we can do a phone consultation now called e-tutoring. Basically, is you send us the draft. You can upload it to the WC Online session window, or you can actually even email it to us.
Right. Now, if one thing, as I mentioned earlier, there should not be the expectation that the entire paper will be covered, specifically if it's over 9 to 10 pages. That usually is a multiple visit type situation, staggered throughout the week. One appointment, one day, the next appointment covers the next section. So the earlier you get into the process of working on the collaboration of your paper, that's a lot better for you. We do understand a lot of the students who utilize the phone consultation full-time, like most masters, graduate levels, they're going to be full-time working family considerations. But the more time you give yourself and that you give to us, the better chance at having the results that you're desiring to have for that interaction. But when the phone consultation occurs, depending on when it's uploaded, we may or may not, as consultants, have the time to look at it and make notes to discuss with you. So because of that, we're probably going to start at the very beginning of the process of that paper and work through as long as we can. So if you set a half hour for phone consultations, that's way too short. Let's try to set an hour. You can do a max of 90 minutes for any appointment on MyWC Online. So for something that's longer, you might be able to set a 90-minute block and get through a majority, if not all of that paper in that 90 minutes. We've had a few students over the summer utilize the 90-minute blocks, and a lot of them went just shy of 65, 70 minutes. So that, again, that may just be all you need, is that a few minutes above it, and we can go ahead and utilize the rest of the time to maybe prep for the next session we might have with you.
And there's several ways you can break it down. Like you're saying, you can break it down by, give an hour to do, 8 pages. Try to go for the 8 pages. We have some students who like to break it down by sections.
Right.
They'll make an hour appointment for a specific section in their paper. They're going to have 4 sections. That's the way they break it down. You have to look, especially for you graduate students in that, okay? The best thing to do is to plan ahead in the sense of it's due by Sunday, midnight. If you have the time during the week and we can do it, let's schedule, maybe something Monday, something Wednesday.
Right. Friday,
at the last resort, Friday, to finish up anything or to go over maybe a couple of final revisions. But ideally, you want to plan ahead. Now, I say graduate students just because, that's the demographic of our students that, again, is working probably full-time, and that has family, has obligations, and is trying to do school.
Yeah, and we'll be utilizing the phone,
but even for
e-tutoring.
Yeah, even for you undergraduate students or anybody doing face-to-face, if you're going to have a long paper, break it down. You know when your due dates are.
Right, you're expected to understand how to manage your time at this point, and we do have services that can help you learn how to manage your time effectively. Come to the Writing Center. We can try to give you as many pointers as we can when it comes to that, give you our experience as undergraduate writers who had the same kind of constraints you might have or that you're facing. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing we can do. Sometimes you just need to kind of talk through some strategies to approach a paper, researching, setting up a thesis statement. Whatever it is, we want to do our best to go ahead and provide that as best possible for you. So if you can, just kind of recap, visit our online presence, our different, our online presence. We have, just to reiterate, we have the online scheduling service at https://alusa.mywconline.com. We have the YouTube channel. You can type in MFD Writing Center, and you should subscribe to our channel if you get a chance. We have our WordPress blog, which is mfdwritingcenter.wordpress.com. We have our Facebook, facebook.com/OLLUWC. We have our Twitter feed, @MFD_writing. And we also have our Goodreads, and if you go to Goodreads, just look for MFD Writing. So again, we are going to be a little bit more visible out there. We're going to try to upload some podcasts as often as possible, talk about some writing strategies, and also if we have time to sit down with some resources and administrators so that you kind of understand and know what you're going to be utilizing should you choose to utilize some student services on campus. So, Sabrina, do you have any other last minute additions to this conversation with our students?
Nope. I think we got it all.
Awesome. Well, again, from the MFD Writing Center, we do want to say welcome. And for those of you who are returning and have already utilized us, thank you for doing so. We look forward to working with you again if we haven't already worked with you. And if we haven't worked with you, we still look forward to working with you and meeting you any chance you get. So,
having a Truman Show moment.
Totally Truman Show.
Good morning, good evening, and good night.
So, thank you again for listening, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Have a great day.
Bye.
So, hi, my name is Dr. Kirsten Komara. I'm the new Writing Center Director for the Mary Francine Writing Center at Our Lady of the Lake University. And I want us all to remember that a writing center is a very comfortable place to be. It's a place where you can have good, creative, and vibrant intellectual discussions about things you're working on, about complicated ideas. It is a judgment-free zone, so we're not here to judge what you're doing. We're here to help you help yourself become a better and more clear and coherent writer. We welcome all students here. I'm new here, but I'm so happy to be here because everybody is so friendly and so supportive, and I'm so excited about working with all of the consultants because they're so professional and they're such good writers who are so really excited about wanting to help other people and wanting to write. And so I think that's great. So if you come in, stop by and say hi. And you'll find that this is a good place to work and to be. And you're lucky to be at Our Lady of Lake University.